So I thought it was pretty interesting. The All-Star game, make of it what you will. I like to see Steph Curry succeed. LeBron hit the shot, the game winner. LeBron's 5-0 in All-Star games. It's fun. I love the MJ stuff so much. And I do think the NBA does a really good job to bring back the old guys, and the young guys pay respect to them. But it's been interesting this last 6 or 7 days. At the trading deadline last week, as we told you, the Lakers would not make a move. And Clutch Sports, that represents LeBron and LeBron James, they wanted Westbrook gone. But it was LeBron and his camp that wanted Westbrook to the Lakers, and the Lakers front office and ownership didn't. They wanted Buddy Hield. They didn't want to move all the young players. And so in the end, what the Lakers, Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka basically said by not making a move at the trade deadline was, you created this mess. This is your idea. We're not making a move to appeal to you. And that's very rare in LeBron's career, like it's never happened. When the Miami Heat, Pat Riley, pushed back a little on LeBron, he left town. And this is sort of what LeBron does. But the difference is LeBron now is in, year 19. But I thought it was very interesting. So obviously the Lakers, both the Lakers and LeBron and his camp kind of go into protective mode. They put stuff out publicly. There was a story this weekend that Clutch Sports isn't happy with LeBron, with the Lakers, Rob Pelinka. LeBron's talking about other GMs. LeBron said this, too. Doors not closed on returning to the Cavaliers. My last year will be played with my son. And it's really interesting. So Cleveland now has a title. Cleveland, for years and years, was desperate for LeBron. They're actually, if you look at the Cavs and their young players, there's an argument to be made. They are going to be one of the top 5 or 6 teams in this league for the next 6 or 7 years. Darius Garland, a guard, is averaging 20 a game. He replaced Colin Sexton. He's hurt, who was averaging 24. They just got LeVert from the Pacers, a very good young player. They've got Evan Mobley, who's going to win Rookie of the Year. Jared Allen, who came over, he's locked up until the 2024-2025 season. He's an excellent big. Cleveland's got an unbelievable ascending young foundation, excellent young players. And they added the player from the Pacers, who's only like 26, 27 years old, Karis LeVert. So I think there's zero chance. If I ran Cleveland, I'm not trading for LeBron in the next 2 years. I'm not blowing this up. This is a really, and the downside to mobility is LeBron twice has bailed on Cleveland for glamorous Miami and glamorous Los Angeles. How many times do you want to get burned, Ohio? When LeBron says, I'm not shutting the door to Cleveland, who says it's open? I wouldn't move any of these players. Absolutely not. Listen, it's the duality of LeBron. With LeBron, you get his greatness and his IQ. He makes everybody better. But he's in his 19th year. You don't get full seasons. He is still remarkable, but the temperature in the room changes when LeBron's in your franchise. And I want to see this young Cleveland group grow. They have really, they got a young big. They've got young wings. They've got a couple young guards. They're going to do really well. Are they the next Milwaukee? There's an argument to be made in the next 3 or 4 years. They're going to become the next Milwaukee Bucks. So I don't think any other team in the East has this much young talent as Cleveland does. And they've butchered a lot of draft picks for years, but they've now hit on some. The Jared Allen move, you know what? They've done some really good stuff. And let's be honest here. Even when LeBron was in Cleveland and winning a title, Dan Gilbert, and this happens a lot in pro sports, felt like, he lost his team. LeBron was essentially running the organization. I can't believe that Dan Gilbert in the next 2 years would say, I'm going to give away some of this hard work. We got our team back. This Cleveland fan base loves this young Cavalier team, and they should. That's what's great about the NBA. You saw it with the Warriors before they won a title. When you've got all these young ascending players, the contracts are reasonable. You make a trade or two, and you look up and you're like, we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to win playoff series. And that's with Sexton hurt, who averaged 24 a game last year. So it's just funny when LeBron said, don't close the window on Cleveland. Who said it's open? I mean, I'm serious. For don't get me wrong, the previous 15 years they would have taken LeBron for anything. They would have given up everything. Cleveland's not desperate anymore. They've been burned twice. They've got a title. They got an owner who has his franchise back. Like I'm just saying, if I ran it, I'm not giving up this young franchise. Owners want to own their teams. They want to have control. And I've heard this for years and years from NFL circles, is the downside to having, a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers or eventually maybe a Patrick Mahomes. You can feel at times Drew Brees, Big Ben, like you kind of lose control of your team. The quarterback is making $45 million or $40 million. He controls the media. You have to make all your moves, releasing and adding people based on one player in your franchise. So I don't think the Cleveland door, I don't know, doesn't look open to me. And at this point, hey, listen, if I was the Lakers and you get LeBron and I get all your young players, I think they do it tomorrow. And that's not a knock on LeBron, but it's year 19. And people who own NBA, NFL, baseball franchises, sometimes you give away your franchise to a superstar quarterback or basketball player because you're getting titles out of it, because you're getting so much relevance out of it. But, are the Lakers even that relevant in the West? Their brand right now is way better than their basketball.